Friday. I'm good, man. How are you? By the way,
Good, man.
on your screen I see both of us, that layout. But
You see both of us, the right layout, right?
yeah, the main layout.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, man. Um, how you doing, man? How's the day go? Everything
I'm
good?
good.
Life good? Maven treating you well?
Yeah,
Got another course
yeah,
coming
yeah,
up?
man. Yeah, I got another cohort coming up May 12th, and we're gonna be starting off teaching people how to use Claude Code to enhance their learning and capabilities, become
Yeah,
orchestrators.
man. I know we were texting about this earlier, man. I want to talk to you about this for sure. Um, I want to learn all about this. So, more on that in just a minute. So, hey, I'm going to hop into a screen share real quick because we're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk really about how we make this episode. But
Yeah.
one of the skills we're going to run, I want to go ahead and kick off because it's going to take a few minutes. So, what I'm going to do here real quick is Sash and I were a little delayed on getting the last week's video uploaded to YouTube. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run our turnover process to get that started.
All
Essentially just
right.
hitting turnover on this video, and we will come back to that in a bit. Um, so yeah, happy Friday, man. Happy Friday, anyone else who's hanging out with us today. So yeah,
Yeah,
I thought we were chatting about it, and I was like, man, like we use AI to do everything on this show. We use AI
I
to
know.
like build a website. We use AI. Obviously, we have a chat bot Echo on our website. But like, who are we talking about AI if we don't actually, do a show with
Yeah.
AI? So why don't we why
and
don't we talk about
and
it?
you've yeah, man, and you've automated pretty much all the ops of it in terms of even getting the graphics, and it's all sitting in a Git repo that both of us share. You've got skills created in Claude Code to like the one you're running right now, Turnover, which basically updates everything for the next upcoming
Yeah,
episode, creates the graphics for you. So all you got to do is just show up and look cool.
that's it. So let's talk about this if we can, because there's really two things at the heart of everything we do here, right? To your point, yeah, everything that you're seeing, everything that we do with this is using Claude Code, right? Like, who has time to spend a lot of time in anything these days? And so the thought is, I feel like Sash, you and I chat for usually like 30 minutes leading up to this episode, and then
Yeah.
15-30 minutes just kind of shooting the shit. How much of that 30 minutes do we actually like are actually doing stuff for the episode, do you think?
I don't know, maybe 10. We just make
Yeah.
sure the streams are all connected, the data is flowing. Pretty
Pretty
much that's it.
much, pretty much. And like that's all we do in general. And it's because of the skills that we created. So let me kind of go over here real quick. There's two main skills that we have that I'm going to walk through today. The one I just showed is turnover. I'll get to that in a second. The first one is episode. So there's a skill in Claude Code called episode. And what this does is every time we hit /episode with a new episode, that's what kind of scaffolds the actual episode. Okay. So it's going to go ahead and create an episode page on our website. It's going to go ahead and create overlays in OBS, right? So like going back to this main thing, right? Like this, like what you're seeing on the screen, the bottom of here, this episode 005, Claude Code ships the show. That's what gets created with this episode. So that overlay gets created that way. We don't even have to update an OBS, right? A LinkedIn image sends a command to Nano Banana to generate a background for the LinkedIn event. It updates data. It flips an episode tag in our database, and then broadcasts that on our homepage. So that's it, right? So at any point we can say, hey, like let's go ahead and create a new episode. So I know that we don't have an episode 6 up yet for next week. So let's go ahead and do that on here. So I'm going to clear this. So Sash, man, you are going to host next week. So what
Yep.
do you want to talk about, man?
You know what? We've been talking about, since we're talking about this, how you build the thing that builds the thing. And I've been talking about that for weeks in terms of a framework called the Orchestrator Method. And we'll try to talk about core principles where everybody can put, delegation to AI in practice. Similarly, how Chris and I use Claude Code to orchestrate pretty much everything about the show and for other stuff as well. So we're going to talk about 5 core principles, how you can put that to practice.
Awesome.
And yeah. All right. So you're going to run the skill,
Yeah.
give Claude Code an idea about what the
Right.
next episode's going to be.
So yeah, I just did episode 6, the orchestrator method, Sausage new capability, build the thing that build the thing, how to use 5 core principles. And so it's going to go ahead and run an unauthorized command first because that's what live demos do, but Claude's smart mostly. So it's going to go ahead and create some of this new one. So topic, it's going to generate a snazzy topic, build the thing to build the thing, 5 core principles, etc. The orchestrator method. So that's what the title is. We have a
Yep,
title, we have a tagline, we have a description. I'm going to go ahead and improve this. This looks pretty good. Would you say, Sash?
I think
Anything you want to
so.
change? All right,
Nope.
cool. Next thing I got to do. Side note, while this runs, I need to get that tool. I've seen it in like so many YouTube videos where people can just talk into their mic and it translates into the terminal for them.
Yep.
Um, yeah, one day when I have time, maybe when AI
Okay.
automates one more thing for me. So yeah, so this is going to run, and we'll go back to this image while it's doing so, right? And then we can come back to this. So essentially, we saw some of this, right? AI generated metadata. We saw that just happened for episode 6. It's got some constraints. Who likes an M dash? I don't like an M dash, Sash. Do you?
Nope.
Nope. So it's going to create this topic, right? It's going to draft it, confirmation gate for me, and then it's going to run the rest of this pipeline. So it's going to
Mm.
create a new countdown page, right? So that countdown page that y'all watch before we're going live, that gets updated every week as well to point ahead to next week's episode. So again, we don't have to change that. Same thing with going to create a branded card for LinkedIn, so I can quickly create an event, text-free background, the overlay, all of that. And so hopefully this is done. Boom, we have it. So episode is there, date, tagline, image, all of that stuff. And we have just
That's
a little admin. While this is coming, let me see if I can't pull up what it generated for us.
while you do that, Chris. So I saw in various stages while Claude Code is executing that, you've got approval gates,
Yep,
right? So it does a few tasks, comes back to you for approval, you review, approve, and then it moves to the next one.
correct.
I think that's core. That's core in even the orchestrator method we talk about, because
Yeah,
you can, if you can define the outcome, which sort of Chris started with, right? He defined exactly what needs to be done to plan for the next episode. It could be a range of tasks, and told Claude Code how each task should be accomplished, gave it all the context, and then put in approval gates so he can come in and say yes or no.
yeah. And I think like we all know this, right? Like anyone who's spent time in any kind of AI, right? Whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, Google, any of them, right? Like it messes up. And you and I
Yeah.
talked about this offline. Like I feel like one of the key moments for me in my like evolution of AI was when I realized like it's just one of us, man. Like it forgets shit
Yep.
sometimes, right? It gets overwhelmed. It's like, dude, you're throwing a ton at me right now, Chris. Like, can you chill? Like, I can't remember everything, right? And like we joke because I think there's a level of like perfection, at least
Yeah.
I expect from it. And so like once that hit me of like, wait a minute, like I can't just fully rely on this yet. And like, how
Yeah.
can we build trust gates to get there? Like, my North Star is like, dude, don't tell me anything, right? Like, don't tell me
Yeah.
anything. Just do the shit. Like, and I trust you because we've done
Yeah.
enough of these, right? And so, how do we get up to there? To your point, like, I'm not there yet. So, like
Yeah.
these approval gates, they just have to happen. So the vision for me is like, how can I start with an approval gate? The next step might be, hey, like draft this up for me, right? And I guess that's what it
Yeah.
did, right? Maybe the first step is like me telling it to draft something. The next one is,
Yep.
hey, I went ahead and took a stab at this. Do you think this is okay? Right. And then the next
Yeah.
one might be, hey, I went ahead and did this for you. And then we can keep like chaining that and orchestrating, right? So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, this is the image it generated. This is what you'll see on LinkedIn when I create the next event up here. Nana Banana is what it called for this background image. Kind of threw this up. This is the page that it generated on our website. Nothing too fancy, but just kind of calls it out. And that is it, man. So that is episode 1.
Good night.
So essentially, yeah, anytime we want to go and get this spun up for that next episode, we have it. It is done. It is there. And then we can
Yeah.
go into our admin portal as well. I'll show that real fast before moving over to turnover.
While while you're talking about that, just to give you a quick sort of background of how this is set up, the website, all the sort of plumbing of the website is, and all the skills that Chris just showed that Claude uses, it's all sitting in a single Git
Everything.
repo.
Yep.
Everything is in one Git
Everything.
repo, which is shared between us. And the skills are workflows that execute these tasks before every Friday when we're ready. Chris and I will text and we'll say, hey, this is what we want to talk about. And then basically he runs these commands where it sets up all the graphics, all the website, updates everything. Even after the episode's going to be uploaded, it will transcribe it. So all of it is run from a single Git repo.
That's it, man. I want to check something real quick because someone said in there that we lost audio.
Oh, we did.
So yeah, hopefully it's still there. Anyway, we'll keep going and pray to the guys. One day we're gonna get Claude to fix our AV stuff for us. Um,
I know.
but yeah, no, you're spot on, right? It's one repo, right? Like all the skills that I did, because we try to trade off like who's hosting. Like right now, I'm hosting and publishing it to LinkedIn. The last 2 weeks while I was traveling, Sash did that. So trying to get it to that like where I can run turnover on my machine. Sash just has to pull the GitHub repo down and then he runs it on his machine. And that's what we've been doing, right? To like generate the overlay, generate the background. So hopefully, the goal is that y'all have no idea which one of us is hosting,
Yeah.
right? And we can kind of divide and conquer that way. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Lastly, let's go to the next one. And hopefully this is about done. So the last thing that I'll do before I come back here is turnover. So turnover is a much more intensive one. And this is the one that like whenever we finish an episode, like, hey, just take care of everything for me. So there's another skill
Yeah.
/ turnover. And one thing I like about this, Sash, is in addition to doing everything for us, like I actually have this as almost like an orchestrating skill. So /
Right.
turnover really just calls 7 different, let's call them sub skills, right? So the
Mhm.
first one and I don't type, right? I don't type wrap. I don't type next up. I don't do any of this. Turnover is all I type and it runs this. So number one, it's going to take the recording of the video, and we use OBS. It points to a certain location on my machine. And so when I hit turnover, first it calls wrap. It's going to go to that location, grab that video. I have Whisper running on my local machine. That's just like a small LLM to use to transcribe audio.
Transcribe.
So yeah, it's going to use I think FFmpeg, right? FFmpeg to actually to pull the audio out of this video file, and then Whisper is going to transcribe that. In addition to transcribing it, it's also going to like match it up to like time as well, right? So
Right.
that we can do things like putting subtitles on top of that. The next one
Okay.
is next up. So as of now, whatever the next available episode is that we have published that has an event that is scheduled, that's going to show up on our website as next. Well, once we do that, once we finish this episode and air it, we want that next episode to be the like, hey, here's the one that's coming up next week, right? This one goes to aired, it goes away. The one that was there comes forward as next, and then it updates all those countdowns. So we can just open OBS 10 minutes before we get on, and we're rocking and rolling, right? Deploy is going to push it up into our multiple branch environment. Like, of course, we want to have multiple branches when we're building this out, but when we're doing
Mhm.
things like simple things of, hey, mark this next episode, instead of it being next, have it, or instead of it being scheduled, have it be next now. Like, we don't need to go through 3 environments to get that current. Like, let's get that onto our website, right? Let's get these images up, etc. Upload. It has our YouTube. There's an API key that we're using for YouTube. Both Sash has one. Both I have one. It's going to upload that full video to YouTube for us, and then it's also going to create those auto chapters. So when you go to our website, like
Mhm.
if you've seen there for an episode, it's going to create like key moments. So that's what Whisper's going to do here as well. It's going to pull through and say, hey, like this thing that Sash said, man, that's really cool. Like I want to kind of call that out as a key moment. So
Right.
as part of this, it's going to create those key moments, put them on our website, and then it's also going to generate embedded links to our YouTube video, so that like if you go to Echo right on our site and say like, hey, like what did Chris, what did you and Sash talk about recently? Um, it's going to give you, hey, like on May 1st, Chris talked about like the turnover skill, and he talked about it at the 6-minute mark of this video with a link that takes you right to there on YouTube.
Right.
Again, all that done, right? And so similar, it's going to promote, it's going to draft up a LinkedIn thing that I can post next week. And then it's going to just close it all out, man. So that's the one that I love because,
Yeah.
and again, you'll see it on here, the human in the loop part, right? Is it's not
Right.
going to post anything to LinkedIn for me because I don't trust it enough
Right.
yet, but it's going to draft it. It's going to store it. So like Monday morning, I can say, hey, Echo, like I want to post something. I want to promote this. Like, and it's boom, here's the draft that's up and ready.
Mm. Yeah. So, I mean, it looks very complex. It's very organized. Things happen sequentially as well as parallel. So, Chris, when you were putting this together, how did you sort of think about this? So, how do you describe it to Claude, and then how did it build this whole thing out?
Oh man, good question, right? I don't think we're gonna get to demo turnover in time. That's okay. I missed that it was waiting for me on phase two. All good. How do I describe it? I think one, it was iterative, right?
Okay.
I think I started with one big thing and then realized it just like missed the mark. So that's when I started to kind of break that out to a bit of like continuing to evolve. Like it was a big moment for me when I started using skills in Claude, right?
Right.
And then I feel like I was like, well, I don't want to have too many skills. I want to overload it. And then like, well, how am I going to remember it? And then it was like, wait a minute, I don't even need to remember all these skills. I just need Claude to know it so it can be patterned,
Right.
it can be defined, it can be consistent. And so that's when it kind of shifted into, well, it can't do this all at one. Let me break it up into small sections, right? All these
Yeah.
individual sub skills. And then it kind of went to like, I don't want to come in here and say slash wrap and then wait and then come
Right.
back and have it be done and then slash this and do the same thing. So that's when I was like, wait, what if I have an orchestrator skill?
Right.
And just call that, right? And then like with anything,
Wow.
you test it a few times and I've got my like SDLC process that I use whenever I want to build anything in Claude, right? To make sure it's tested and built properly and using the right sub agents and things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, eventually it got to this and it's working
Phenomenal.
working pretty well, man.
So you start at the bigger idea and then sort of break it down into smaller parts. Have Claude help you break it down into smaller parts. You plan it, you execute it a few times, wash out, make sure the approval gates are working, iron out the kinks, and now it's just a process you run. That's the orchestrator method we're going to talk about. And
Like with anything in life, man.
just like with anything with life,
Yeah.
just like with anything in life, that's
So
there's no secret. There's no secret. It's
I
just
know.
break it down into smaller pieces.
I know.
Have AI help you plan it, and
I
then
know.
execute it a few times, fix stuff, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah. So you see here, man, this is we're getting some errors, we're getting some human resolve stuff, right? Episode created this, same logical commits. That's all good. I think part of this
All
was
right.
because we'd create episode 5 without running turnover on episode 4. But
Ah,
part of
yeah,
part of live demos, man. But I will
yeah.
tell you that when we hang up and finish this and that recording gets saved, I'm gonna hit turnover on this. And I bet if anyone is tracking, I bet within 15 minutes you'll see this video on YouTube, and it'll probably take me way within 5 minutes. But I
Yeah.
just talked about how I don't fully trust Claude enough yet, so I'll give it some buffer room, man.
All right, all right.
So
This is fantastic, dude.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
always a pleasure, Sash. Like, so yeah, one more give one more shout out for next week, man.
Absolutely. So join us next week to talk about the 5 principles of the orchestrator method. What just Chris demonstrated, you can take that and apply it to anything, any task that you want to delegate to AI whilst preserving the judgment for yourself as the human in the loop. That's what we're going to talk about, how you can put it to use.
Love it, man, dude. Always a pleasure, and I always say this every week,
Likewise,
man.
man.
But I look forward to this, man. This is
Me
fun
too.
stuff, man. Love your
Me
brain,
too.
Sash. Love learning from you, dude. Have a good weekend, buddy,
Likewise, brother.
and
You too.
talk to you soon, man.